Hey, welcome to the Bagger Life 2025, and it's time to get started heading towards the Black Hills. Let's take a quick look at plans. We got the Honda Goldwing set up with the trailer. We got Michelle's Spider set up with no bag on the back. Hopefully this is going to make a lot better traveling conditions for her. We got enough gear for 3 people in the trailer. We're going to meet up with Sean here in a little bit. Back of the bike is exclusively camera equipment, and then left and right side of the bike are personal stuff. So let's hit the road. So we're running with the same plan that we usually always have, and that's we're going to burn down as many miles as we can every day to get to our final destination, which this year is going to be the Black Hills in South Dakota, Sturgis area, and we're going to see all the touristy things and all the stuff that the Black Hills has to offer. And this year we plan to come back, theoretically, taking more days to get back to Bend. So, you know, if I had known now what I know before we had left on the trip, I would have packed a little bit differently to handle some of the problems that we experienced alongside the road. But you know, that's all just part of the adventure. As we pull into the store here, this is going to be our stop to meet up with Sean. Even though we don't have to, we're going to go ahead and top the bikes off with gas, get ice for the coolers, get snacks, probably get a couple Red Bulls down, because, you know, riding from Central Oregon out east is, for the first part, sort of flat and boring. This time of the year it tends to be a little bit green, but it's nothing special. It's desert. All right, so we made our first stop of the day. Here at the Alfalfa store, we picked up our third rider. He's ready to go. I've shedded the liners on the mesh gear, and we're ready to roll. Next stop, maybe Burns for a bathroom break, and then on to Twin Falls, Idaho. See what's going on there. Now, thinking it was going to be much colder in the morning than it was, I had thrown in all the thermal liners and the water liners into the mesh gear, and you know, it's June in the desert, but it is not fairly early in the morning, probably 7:38, and it is already starting to get hot. But we're riding the back roads out to Highway 20, and we're making a fairly good time, and we jump on 20 and we're rocking down 20. The GPS looks clear. Everything seems to be going good. We start to run into gravel, and then this. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that. Yeah, we just like to thank ODOT for the last 5 miles we've been on fresh chip seal. We just missed the pilot car. Went up and talked to the flagger, and we have another 30 miles of fresh chip seal. God, this is gonna be fun. All right, time to go, lady. So it turns out that it was a little longer than 30 miles on the chip seal, the loose gravel, but it only worked out to be about 10 miles up the road till the pilot car pulled off and turned around. Unfortunately, the pilot car wasn't driving very fast, or at least the semi that we were behind wasn't driving very fast. I think at one point we got up to like 11 miles an hour. So as soon as we get out onto the pavement or out onto the chip seal, we're cruising along at about 60, and somewhere in there, I think it's in the video, a little minivan just decides to fly past us and pelt us all with rocks, which was a nice surprise. But we get out of the chip seal. All the traffic that wants to drive fast barrels down the road and gets out away from us. And we pass through a couple of the smaller towns on Highway 20, moving out towards Burns. And like I said, it's really green out here because it's early in the year. And the bugs aren't too bad. As long as you're moving, the heat's not too bad. And everything seems to be rolling along fairly well. But it's a lot of flat, mostly straight roads. There's other motorcycles out, which is pretty cool. But when you see this scenery all the time, you're not super impressed with it. We finally hit Burns and roll into McDonald's for lunch. At this point, it has to be getting pretty close to noon, or maybe a little after. The chip seal really slowed down our progress, and we were trying to get to at least Twin Falls or a little farther up the road if we could in Idaho. But it was super challenging. So on this year's trip, as I stated in the beginning, I'm rolling on the 2008 Goldwing, pulling the trailer, and that seems to be a nice functional combination. The trailer's not really adding any resistance that I can tell to the bike. That bike is super cushy and super comfortable, blocks a lot of the wind, and that would be my only real complaint, is it blocks a lot of the wind off you. But I put some new wind deflectors on it that help flow more breeze back onto you, which is great, especially when you're doing these sort of long, straight desert type roads in the heat. Getting as much air onto you as you can is pretty nice. And there's a few bugs out there, but not many. As we start to get deeper east, the scenery starts to dry out a bit, and this, I believe, is the last major town before we cross over into Idaho, sort of staying off the freeway for the most part. And I think we roll up here on a minute to a big sugar beet sugar extracting facility. I don't know. Every time I go this way, it always sort of amazes me. We don't have a lot of large industrial complexes in Central Oregon, so even though they're not all that awe-inspiring, it's interesting to see one when it comes around.
Control the witness. I'll leave you lonely.
point we've sort of crossed into Idaho, and we're paralleling the highway, but eventually we have to jump back out on the highway because we just run out of road, and we're probably at this point a couple hours out of Idaho Falls, or Twin Falls, Idaho, I guess. And I don't know, because I don't really run the GPS on this Goldwing because it's old enough that it won't receive updates anymore. But yeah, it's getting late in the day and the temperature's up. We're doing about 80, 85 down the freeway, and these guys come up and pass us like we're standing still. It's an interesting highway. Not much to see though.
Don't monkey with the business. You pay the profits to justify your reasons. I heard you promise, but I don't believe it. That's why I do it again. No. That's why I do it again. Yeah, that's why I do it again. Notorious.
Thing just keeps going around in a circle. Well, for fuck's sakes, it looks like we're moving in for a week.
Wild boys are calling on their way back from the fire. An August moon surrender to a dust cloud on the rise. Wild boys falling far from glory, reckless and so hungered on the razor's edge you trail, because there's murder by the roadside in a sore afraid new world. They tried to break us, looks like they'll try again. Wild boys never lose it. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always shine. You got sirens for a welcome. There's blood stain for your pain, and your telephone been ringing while you're dancing in the rain. Wild boys wonder where is glory, where is all you angels? Now the figureheads of hell, and lovers war with arrows over secrets they could tell. They tried to tame you, looks like they'll try again. Wild boys never lose it. Wild boys never chose this way. Wild boys never close your eyes. Wild boys always shine.
So, pizza delivered?
And we don't have to go anywhere.
Maybe. So let's talk about,
Air-conditioned pizza.
yeah, air-conditioned pizza. So we made a couple stops for fuel that I didn't film, and we made a stop at McDonald's I didn't film. Other than that, we rode from Central Oregon to Twin Falls, Idaho. It's fairly flat, a little bit of hills here and there, and mostly desert. We were gonna stay over at a different hotel, not the La Quinta, but that hotel was booked out, and we didn't make reservations because, well, we just don't like doing that. So we ended up at the La Quinta Inn. Sounds like they have a pool. Sean thinks they're going to deliver pizza. So all is good. 9-hour day on the bikes. We left at 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 6 o'clock here, 7 o'clock here, 6 o'clock from our departure time. Everybody's pretty cooked. We're gonna jump on the bikes, do it for day 2, end up in Cookie City
Tomorrow, okay.
tomorrow. Yeah.
You had me panicking. I'm like, no, that bike is done.
Yeah, mine is so hot.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how the end of day 1 went.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean